All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much. I think we are just waiting for a bit more people. It's 5 o'clock on my watch, so I would really love if we could begin already. For those who I haven't met yet, my name is Julia Legasto, and I'm part of the team here at Own Academy. And it's just so great to have all of you here. I see some members of my team here. I see some participants, new learners who are here as well. I'm excited for all of you. And I would really love to give a quick shout out to all the educators we have specifically invited to be here today. So shout out to all of you. And once again, thank you so much for being here. I truly hope you guys can see my screen, but once again, welcome to Own Academy. And very quickly, I will be sharing a bit about who we are as we begin. So we are a real-world experience platform. We actually help cater to young learners across Asia develop their purpose, and we guide them and set them up for fulfilling, impactful careers. We also love working with inclusive, future-focused employers to connect the classroom to the real world. At Own Academy, we believe that purpose is developed and not found. And so through our events and our content, such as the one we are doing today, we, as Own, help learners across Asia gain valuable real-world experience starting from a very young age, as early as 13, guiding them through their college years and setting them up for fulfilling and impactful careers. Today, you are attending a real-world discovery session, which is Own Academy's online career exploration series featuring experts from modern industries. It's in these sessions where young learners can learn straight from industry experts on how to solve problems, gain insights that will help them decide what career to pursue in the future, or even just get valuable advice on what it means or what it takes to succeed in the real world. Today, our topic is marketing strategies or focused on building client relationships. And I'm really excited about this one, just because I know that our speaker is an expert in human relations. So really building client relationships is such a core thing for marketing. Here, we will delve into the importance of prioritizing customer success in marketing and providing practical strategies for fostering long-term customer relationships. Here, you'll also be able to discover how to align marketing strategies with customer needs, deliver exceptional experiences, and leverage customer advocacy. You'll also be able to utilize data effectively and foster collaboration between marketing and customer success teams. Our speaker for today, she is a human capital consultant at Deloitte who specializes in workforce transformation. She has been multi-awarded, and one of which is as an outstanding youth ambassador for her work in 2022 at the Youth Assembly in New York City, in partnership with the United Nations program. She also chairs the mental health nonprofit organization Where There's Hope and started her own marketing and design company called Clay for Design and Strategy. So it is my pleasure to introduce our speaker for today, the founder and CEO of Clay and a human capital consultant for Deloitte. I'd like to virtually welcome Danielle Nakpil, or as I call, Danny.
Thank you so much, Julia. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Own Academy, for the warm welcome and for inviting me to speak today on something I'm very passionate about. So let me just, share my screen. I hope everyone's having a great afternoon. Okay. So again, welcome. Thank you for spending your time here, choosing to spend your time here. And I really hope that we get to have a lovely discussion and a fruitful conversation about marketing. I know that Julia mentioned earlier that we are going to talk about customer success, all these big words, right? All these buzzwords in this industry. Client relationships, crafting a marketing strategy that would help us build brand loyalty and customer retention. But before that, I would just like for us to take a few steps back and have a refresher on what really is marketing. What are the factors that we have to focus on in order to build our brand loyalty and customer retention along the way for our companies and for our products, knowing that technology has changed the game, social media, digital marketing has really upped the game. But the thing is, it's there's a lot of trends that we have to keep up to. So that's why the title of my talk today is People, Loyalty, CX. Why is there a need to create a human-centered design in today's marketing landscape? And how does it really contribute? How does it practically contribute to brand loyalty, customer experience, and customer success? So we'll find out about this more. So I just want to say a brief hi again. Thank you, Julia, for that introduction. But yes, I am Danny. I'm really happy to be spending this afternoon with you. I call myself a storyteller, and I am huge about innovation. These are the three things that really keep me busy these days. So I am very privileged to be in the space of human capital, being able to um, architect, being able to be an architect for human-centric design in not just in marketing and branding, but also in the workforce transformation space. And yes, I founded my own design and strategy company a year ago, and I also chair this mental health nonprofit organization called Where There Is Hope. So, hi again. So before we start with all the buzzwords, with all the analytics and these things about marketing for this afternoon, I just want us to go back on the core of marketing. And those are customers. And they are people. They are real people who have stories, who have interests, who have certain behaviors that our products should be able to tell, or our campaigns should be able to tell as marketers ourselves. So I just want you to sit on that and ponder about focusing on the target audience, focusing on the customer. So I prepared a list of things that we can talk about this afternoon, right? So again, a refresher on what is marketing? What is the core of marketing? Next would be, I want us to get into human-centric design. Why should we focus on the people, not just, crafting campaigns or marketing messages that we know would tug heartstrings, but really have this apply the principles of design thinking into mapping a personalized and detailed customer journey for our audience. Next is, how do we see human-centric design in marketing? Later on, I will be showing some great examples of marketing campaigns that have exemplified what it means to put the customer at the center. And then, of course, we will tackle the little details, or the details that really sum up a marketing strategy. Do we really know our people? Are we using our CRM database properly? Who are our target audience? Do we know them? Do we know how they speak? Do we know what shows they watch? So we'll be tackling a little bit about customer personas, um, asking, maybe we can ask ourselves also along the way if we are really meeting our customer needs and expectations. And again, that is anchored on knowing our customer. And we'll talk about brand values as well. And then, of course, customer experience, right? A customer experience is something bespoke and tailored fit to our customers and to our clients. And lastly, brand loyalty and customer success. We'll discuss a little bit later on how the marketing funnel has actually evolved nowadays with the advent of social media, TikTok, right? And we'll have a conversation later on about that, on how to make your customers your brand ambassadors without actually making them influencers. Okay, so what is marketing? So for you, how can you describe marketing? You can, I think, type in the chat box. So maybe one word or a statement. Will that be okay, Julia? Okay. Stories. I love that. How about the others? How do you define marketing? Or what is the first thing that comes to mind when you encounter this word, or when you see ads, when you see campaigns, when you see commercials? So I love this definition by Dr. Philip Kotler. He's the father of modern marketing. And he said that marketing is the science and art of exploring, creating, and delivering value to satisfy the needs of a target market at a profit. Of course, at the end of the day, there must be conversion, right? It's business. But it identifies an unfulfilled needs and desires. It defines, measures, and quantifies the size of the identified market and the profit potential. So I think let's focus on the first half of this. It is both a science and an art. I think marketers would agree that it is a science because it's based on analytics. Like, we are very lucky this day because we have a lot of tools, softwares where we can quantify actually the success of our campaigns, of our ads. And of course, it is an art. It is an art of storytelling. It is an art of making content. And of course, we do this because the end goal is to make the lives of our customers better. So why did we go back to this very basic definition of marketing, right? Because the very core of marketing is connecting to people. And we won't be able to understand or to fully achieve customer retention or be or have a really great relationship with our clients if we do not understand that at the very core it's about people. A successful marketing campaign should be able to understand and connect to the person it was crafted for. At the end of the day, we tell stories that should be resonating with our target market. And as I've said a while ago, of course, it's business. But the thing is, a lot of marketers kind of lose sight of this. Profit follows when there is mastery of storytelling. If there is a mastery of marketing, if we actually are able to connect and convey our message surrounding the needs of our customers. So a vital part of human-centric design in marketing is, of course, human-centered storytelling. Later on, I'll be playing two videos of amazing and award-winning marketing campaigns that really exemplifies this. So we tell stories. I know it may sound cheesy, right? But we really tell stories to remind us of the human experience. And I would ask you now, and maybe you can put it also in the chat box. What is your favorite commercial? What's your favorite ad? I think my favorite commercials are dated back in childhood of a Filipino fast food chain because it appeals. It doesn't just appeal to your emotion, but you see yourself in the story. You see yourself in the campaign, in the message. So it's not detached, right? So it's all about shared human experience. It's about shared lives. It can be accounts of history. It's nostalgia. It can be tackling different cultures of different groups of people. It's all about diversity and, behaviors, the psyche of different generations, from the Gen X, from the Gen Z. It's a whole lot of things. And to be able to craft a successful marketing campaign and message, it must rely on the understanding of human needs. Because if you have a product and your product is able to provide solution in the everyday life or in the everyday life of a consumer, that would, definitely make their lives not just better, but more awesome and make them live life to the full. And then it's our job to tell that story. And I personally think, as I mentioned earlier, I'm a storyteller. So in order for us to deliver a great marketing material to, attract customers and all, we must first connect our audiences at a deeper and more personal level. So we'll tackle that in a more detailed way later on. So, okay, before I show the videos, now it's all about human-centric marketing. We talked about human-centric design and human-centered storytelling. Therefore, it is human-centric marketing because the main component of a human-centric approach is placing the customers at the center of it. And it involves the understanding of who they are as people. We'll get more practical later on, but basically customers or people organically gravitate towards products that resonate with their values, their lifestyles, and who they are as people. Creating natural brand ambassadors among your customers will just be automatic and organic if they believe in the same things that your brand does. So I'll be showing this campaign by Whirlpool, that is very much focusing on an initiative that they had. So let's watch this.
When I wake up in the morning and I find out I have no clean clothes, I usually end up just staying home. When I was homeless, we had no clean clothes because we only had a little bit of money and we used that money for food.
I think people don't talk about not having clean clothes because, I don't know, it makes you want to like cry or go home or run away or something. It doesn't feel good.
If they miss school, then they're not going to get their education. And if you don't have an education, you can't do anything. And they really deal with a lot of just very practical challenges that I never had to face.
We have a washer and dryer at home. It's just that our electricity was shut off.
If there are kids whose education is at risk because they don't have access to clean clothes, that's something we can help with. Care Counts is really about seeing how laundry can impact attendance rates. And how we're able to do that is providing washers and dryers into school districts.
It was so exciting because I could think of 20 kids off the top of my head who, boy, this is going to make a difference.
They want you to put as much clothes as you can, fit in a bag, and then they have you bring them to the school, then they wash them.
Since the program has been in the school, my attendance is consistent. The goal is 90. We have over 90% all the time.
I can just look at specific kids and know that because they're in the program, they've been at school every day this year.
Before the program, I think I would have said, "You're crazy, a washer and dryer? That seems way too simple." But I think now looking at it, I think we know that it's made a positive impact.
I definitely think the program has long-lasting impact because if it gets kids to come to school, then they can work to get an education and, get out of poverty and help their families get out of poverty.
We originally started this hoping to impact attendance rates. What we didn't realize was the impact that it would have on so much more.
How I feel with clean clothes, hanging out with my friends, I feel like nothing can stop me.
Okay. So that was really a great campaign. But I want to hear from you. What do you think of this Whirlpool Care Counts program, especially this campaign? Feel free to share on the chat box. Any observation? What do you like about it? So I think it's, for me, it's three things, right? Um, Hi, Lisha. Hi. It was simple but effective, right? Because it tells a story, and all of a sudden, washing machines and dryers are humanized, right? You can so there are three things. Number one, there was a need, right? And the need was addressed in this campaign. It was mentioned a while ago in one of the testimonials that this is the way that they can create impact. This is the way that they can help these children. This is the product that they have. I mean, yeah, for sure, they can create a feeding program or something else, but this is how they can create direct impact. And we've seen in the statistics how it really improved the lives of those kids. So there was a need and they provided real solution, right? So if you have a product, does it really solve something? Second would be what I said earlier, that it was very humanizing. It was a great campaign because it tells a story after story of how Whirlpool made a difference and made an impact in the lives of kids who do not have regular electricity at home, who do not have enough clean clothes to wear every day to school. It's humanizing, right? You can think of a marketing campaign about dryers in a very technical way. Maybe you can promote the features of the dryer, you can promote the cutting edge technology it offers, but this one, it gave a face, it gave multiple faces to how a dryer and washing machine can change a life. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, let's watch the next one. This is by Volkswagen. Okay. So how about this one? What makes you feel what did you feel watching it, or what's your reaction? Were you waiting for a Volkswagen car? Let me know. You can type in the chat box again. What do you think about it? It was very creative. That's true. Because you didn't see any cars, but the premise of this ad was right. Same. I was like, where is this going? Will I see a Volkswagen car? It's very creative because the premise is they wanted to test if people would do something or would lean into doing something more because it's a better experience for them, because it's more fun. That's why it's called fun theory, right? You can see here the brand touch of human centeredness. You can see here when the staircase was turned into a cool functional prototype of a piano, a lot more people went for the stairs because this campaign shows us and makes us understand what motivates a person, right? What motivates a person into buying my product or into going for my service instead of someone else who's offering it at a cheaper price in the market. So these two are amazing examples of what it looks like, to be creating campaigns that are human centric. Yeah, I just have to say it's just amazing that there was no car in there. So why there's a lot of elements there, right? Like the creativity, the angle that they took in creating those campaigns. Again, it was mentioned a while ago that there was no car, and then for Whirlpool, we can always go for the technical take, but they didn't. So there's always creativity. And why is that? Because we have to understand the audience of today with the power of digital economy over us. The consumer has definitely evolved in behavior. For example, as simple as, let's talk about social media marketing. Would I go to Instagram to check out this brand, or will I go to TikTok? Will I listen to influencers or content creators more, or will I go to uh, a news website to read about its feature, right? Their buying patterns, as I was saying a while ago, the marketing funnel has evolved. Sometimes people already have used the product before they were aware of the brand. And the thing is, it is very crucial to map where they're coming from. How do they come to know of your product? It's also, the very decision or option whether or not to watch your ad, to watch that, for example, 2-minute video or not, is a make or break. What would make them even take 2 seconds into reading your post on Instagram or Facebook, that they have to buy this ecological bag, for example, right? And according to a study, the average attention span of a typical consumer nowadays is 8 seconds. Crazy, right? So there's a lot of factors, there's a lot of elements that come in play in creating these campaigns. But most of all, above all, these people who created the videos that we watched earlier, they understand their consumers. They understand what it means to have a human-centric design. Okay, this one is it's a little bit technical. So let's narrow it down and dive deeper into the details. We have been talking about first having a human-centric design, have human-centric storytelling in marketing, creating campaigns that tell the stories of real people and the different takes on it. So now let's talk about the customer. Do you know your people well, or do you know them well enough? So I have here an example. It's a little bit artsy, the portrait, but an example of a customer persona. So this is from HubSpot. A customer persona is a semi-fictional representation of ideal customers based on your data and research. So for people who haven't really encountered this term, we create a customer persona or a user persona for our products or for our audiences in order to know what their interests are, what are the shows they watch, of course, the basic facts, the demographics, how old are they, where do they live. So it is take note that this is backed or it is actually anchored in data and research. So if you're running your own business or you have a sales team, your softwares, your CRM can provide this for you. You'll see this in your websites. Where are the people coming from? Are they coming from social media, straight to your website, etc.? So these type of persona helps you identify the kind of product that you should be putting out, the messages, the tone of voice when you post for example, online for social media marketing, digital marketing. So for example, meet Andrea, right? So let's say that we have a meal planning delivery service. So Andrea is 27. She lives in Makati, in the Philippines. She finished her bachelor's degree. She's a social media manager. And let's say, just, for an estimate, her monthly income is 30 to 40,000 Philippine peso. And she's single, she's living alone. So what are her needs? Healthy, affordable, and delicious meals. And motivations because she wants to live a balanced life. So she really invests in exercise and going to the gym, having a healthy diet, and she invests in practices that boost mental well-being, like mental health coaching and reading books, yoga, so those things. So what is the pain point? Meal planning delivery services can be pricey and limited with its menu. So this is an example of a customer persona. So you literally create a semi-fictional character to understand your audience or your target market even more. It can be so detailed, like what are her interests, how often does she go out and party, does she go out and meet her friends. So it can be so detailed. There are actually websites available. I can also message that or put that maybe later in the chat box. These websites where you can actually tailor fit your customer persona for your brand. So let's talk about brand values and tone. For example, if you have that meal planning service. So for example, we have crafted or chosen these brand values. So it must be friendly and informative. What does that mean? It can sound like a friend, but it's very informative or educational in a sense that, oh, this meal has this nutritional value. So it's fun. She's fun, friendly, but you can actually learn, right? Relatable and fun. So let's say because Andrea is our target market, we are not located that pricey or more expensive price point. So maybe it's more affordable. So it has to be relatable, right? Because if it's not, you would feel, for example, in the tone of the marketing material that this sounds expensive. And empowering and uplifting, that we want to help Andrea achieve her dream or aspirations in life of having a balanced life, living healthy, eating healthy. So these are just examples, right, of brand values and tone. And there's a lot more things that we should be considering. And one of that is creating a bespoke or tailored fit marketing strategy that we'll be discussing next. Of course, we also have to take in consideration customer experience. So we've talked about the persona, who are we catering to. Now that let's assume that you know them already. You've done your research, you have your data, you have developed the product even more to be better, to solve or to satisfy the needs of your target market, which is Andrea. Now we go to customer experience, right? So again, just a little bit of recap. We had a refresher of what is marketing, what is it all about, and at the very core, it's all about customers. It's all about people. We've learned about having a human-centric design in storytelling and in marketing. We talked about the some of the ways that we can get to know more our target audience. So now it's providing amazing, excellent customer experience. The thing with human-centered approach on marketing is allowing you to create a tailor-fit agenda, strategy, and implementation or execution specifically designed for your customers. Because you've studied them, because you know how they sound, how they look, it is very much easier to create a customer journey that's specifically mapped out for them. And the thing with amazing customer experience, who here are Apple users? They have an amazing customer experience, right? Even when you will bring your iPhone or your MacBook for repair, everything is just they ease your anxiety. When you walk into the Apple store, they build rapport right away. They do not just give you products, but they ask you, what do you need? What is your lifestyle? What do you need it for? Oh, I'm an artist, I need to I draw, so maybe they'll give you an iPad. What kind of iPad? Right? So it's very much centered on your need, your lifestyle, your wants. And that is what it looks like to have a personalized and detailed customer journey and customer experience. By the way, I think we'll have a question and answer portion maybe later. So if you have questions, you can ask there later, I think. Okay, so moving forward. So a part of customer experience is providing bespoke strategy. So these are examples of strategies that I have crafted for our clients at Clay. So there's there's no brand name here for confidentiality, but you can see here, for example, the objectives that we have for them, since we are a third party agency, so we do their marketing. We sit them down, ask them what they need, ask them their business goals and business objectives, and we align our KPIs to that. Is it brand awareness? Is it a new brand launching here in the Philippines, but it's already existing in other countries? Is it growing more engagement? So it's up to you to really decide the engagement timeline, right? How much time do you need for growing followers, for example? So my point is, it's bespoke. It is not a cookie cutter strategy that we apply to every client, because we get to know you, we get to know your target market, your audience, and we craft it especially for you. What platforms do you need? If it's social marketing, social media marketing, what platforms would work for your audience? How old is your audience? Where can we find them? Are they on Facebook? If they need email marketing, we can do that as well. So it's bespoke and it's tailor fit just for you. Another factor is, of course, listening to customer feedback. These are just few of many other elements, but you gotta see, for example, the analytics, which type of content are working, which are not, and then you pivot right away and release better content, release better campaigns. So that is part of providing your customers. In our context, because we're an agency, that's a part of creating customer experience and fostering client relationships, because we make sure that they feel that everything is personalized for them, that we specially crafted a strategy that would work just for them. So I think this is the last thing that or the last major item I would be discussing. Brand loyalty is equals to brand success. So just to read some statistics here, right? It has been found out that a company's business will come from 65% of repeat customers. A lot of businesses are earning or their profits mainly coming from repeat customers. And loyal customers are 60% more likely to recommend your brand to their network, to their friends, to their family. And this is what I was talking about brand loyalty. How do you create brand ambassadors among your customers without actually paying them, right? Word of mouth. Like, I bought this jacket. It's very good. It aligns with the things I believe in. It is sustainable, etc. And loyal customers will even spend more money on a product they trust, even if there's a more affordable option in the market. So I think this will circle back to what we were talking about from the very beginning. I know there's a lot of big words and all these big words and terms about marketing, customer success, customer retention, but really, it is all about focusing on your target market, knowing your people, who they are, their stories. I know it sounds simple, but it is what it is. Like, that's what I mentioned earlier. It's the very core of marketing. And if we do it in a masterful way, then profit will just follow. So I think I gave that statement earlier about customers being real people. And I will end with this. Know your people, tell their stories, and make their lives better. Yes, we're storytellers, but at the end of the day, we're also marketers. We're also business people. And at the end of the day, our products must make the lives of our customers better. So thank you so much. I think that ends my talk for this afternoon. So if you want to reach out to me, you can email me, message me via LinkedIn, or I also gave there my mobile number. Thank you so much. I hope that you learned something today, or maybe, maybe a reminder of focusing on our customers, focusing on people and their stories. So thank you so much, On Academy, and thank you so much, Julia, for inviting me.
Hi, Danny. Thank you so much as well. I was really enlightened. I studied psychology, so I really heavily related to a lot of the things that you were sharing. And just because a lot of marketing has a lot to do with human behavior and the psychology of it all. So I really related to all of that. And I really do hope a lot of people learned a lot of things today. I definitely did. And now we're going to be moving on to the Q&A session. So let's get on this. And I'm really excited to ask a few questions. And if there are any questions from the audience today, feel free to type them in the chat box below. But while we're waiting for some questions from the audience, I just have a question myself. Number one, so you shared some successful examples of different companies or brands and how they've told stories, how they've humanized a lot of things, how they've presented a problem, showed the context of it, and showed basically how they solved it with their own products and services. Like you said, made it easier. So just from that point of view, what are some key metrics or indicators that marketers can track to assess the strength or the impact or the effectiveness of their client relationship, or how they storytell? How can you gauge success?
I like that question because it's very practical. And I think before I answer that question, I would like to go back to aligning our KPIs with the business objective. Because at the end of the day, it's business, right? So what do we want, or what are our objectives for this brand? Is it, again, brand awareness? Is it engagement? Is it customer retention? So number one, we really have to identify our goals first before we can work towards it. So KPIs, for example, when it comes to brand awareness, would be definitely growing the followers if you're on social media, or a digital marketing, when digital marketing is highly involved. So that's number one. For example, if the goal, for example, is growing more engagement, then how many user generated content do you have a week, a month? So it's up to you to decide as well. So there's a lot of what are the kinds of content that really sell to your audience? Do they like videos? And you can, of course, definitely see that in the number of views, the number of comments, of shares. So I think we are very lucky to be living in this time where success can be actually measured and quantified. So I guess, so that's my answers. First is really going back to your objective. What is the primary objective, for example, in the first 3 months? And then creating realistic metrics to achieve that.
All right, really, really cool. Once again, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat box below. So next question, it's the modern day age already. So my question is, how can marketing teams leverage, technology today and the digital tools today to enhance client relationship building efforts? Or should we stick to, good old traditional way of creating stories? So let's deep dive into that, if you have any thoughts.
So the thing now, like, I think we're all aware of AI and Chat GPT, and I've been personally talking with my friends or writers or here who are in advertising or marketing. But I think the way to approach it or see it this time, like this early, is to use these tools to make our lives easier, to make our lives better. And that's the beauty as well with human-centric design, because it's human-centric thinking. So you think of the strategy, you think of the story, and then let Chat GPT, for example, do the job. Like, I won't lie, you cannot get what Chat GPT answers. Like, you can't get it directly. You have to sanitize it yet. You have to sanitize it and edit it still. So use these technology to make your lives easier and create, better stories, like more revolutionized campaigns.
Really, really good. So my next question is, for you, as a marketer, how can marketers personalize their approach to client relationship building to better meet the individual needs and preferences of their clients? So, how can you personalize that? What's the first step that, maybe a lot of the students here or young learners here can take? How did they come up with ads and commercials like that were so effective? What are the first steps? What are the initial steps marketers should take?
So number one, a very practical thing to do is actually just be updated with trends. Like, keep on learning, keep on studying, because the thing is, it's so fast paced, right? You'll just be on TikTok and there's another trend like after a few days or a week. And the thing is, it's very effective for brand awareness or engagement, right? So keep on learning, keep on studying. And I think that's on top of, again, getting to know your client. And since everything is fast paced, make sure that, because I think it boils down to making sure that your client or your brand is not just relevant in the next 5 years, but will continue to thrive, right? And we have to evolve with the times. We have to evolve with the new technologies. We have to evolve with the new audiences even. So keep on learning, keep on researching.
So you're saying I can be a marketer if I'm a TikToker, a devout
Definitely.
TikToker. You're just joking. So yeah, really, really cool. Now, what do you think are some challenges or obstacles that marketers face when trying to build and maintain strong client relationships? I mean, you make it sound so much easier. You make it sound so beautiful and fun and exciting. I feel like you've maybe transformed some of these young learners' mind into joining into marketing. I really did enjoy the ads, but what makes it difficult? What does it actually look like? You know, expectation versus reality.
To be honest, it's very challenging
Yeah.
because it involves a lot of alignment.
Hmm.
And if I may speak in our context as an agency, as a very small, agency in its infancy, if I may speak in our context, since we are a third party agency, it has to be there has to be so much alignment and
Hmm.
regular cadence with the client, because you will encounter clients who do not actually know what they want at the end of the day.
Right.
You will encounter, this is reality, you will encounter clients who change their minds you know every call. And it takes a lot of patience, really, and it takes a lot of, I think, being confident as well of what you think, believing in yourself that, okay, so for example, again, in our context, we're consultants, right? Because we're a third party agency. So this is what we really think is best for your brand. But if at the end of the day, it's theirs. So if they do not choose that route, you have to be okay with it. But you offered your expert opinion, you've done your work. So it's a lot of managing expectations, it's a lot of managing clients, managing workforce, and all the soft skills are actually, they do not appear as soft skills. Like, yeah, but lastly, I would just like to say that just be genuine. That at the end of the day, even if it's tiring or challenging or even frustrating, just be genuine and always have it in mind that the goal at the end of the day is to make their brand grow and to help them. It's really to help them.
Really, really good. I love that. Thank you for sharing the challenges of it and what it actually looks like. And you're right, clients don't always know what they want, and you kind of
Yeah.
have to help them get there, kind of help them figure it out.
Yeah. Don't
Kind
worry,
of,
it's very normal.
yeah,
It's the norm.
yeah. So you'll always be facing that in terms of marketing. So yeah, some people don't even know how to tell the stories or understand what human nature even looks like. So it's our
Mm-hmm.
job to kind of make everything more relatable and more understandable while keeping up our business goals. So that's really good. I'm down to my last question. If anyone has any questions, going once and going twice. And here's my last question to you, Danny. There are a lot of young learners out there trying to figure out what they want to do. So, what is a message you can give them as a marketer yourself and as a human consultant? What can you share with them?
Um, I just want to say that, this generation of younger people, they have so much opportunities, and information and education is so much
Right.
democratized, but at the same time, I acknowledge the fact that it can get overwhelming.
That's right.
It can get pressuring because I'm not that old, but during my time, the traditional jobs are still somehow the standard of being a doctor or being in law or something like that. But now you can literally be whoever, whatever you want, wherever. And I just would like to say that just for this time, at this age, just be a sponge. Like, keep learning, keep absorbing, keep building skill sets that would help you, or even if it's just fun to learn, right? Because nowadays the economy, the job economy is so much different. Like, you have to be so well rounded, you have to learn holistically. So just have fun, and it's a process, it's a journey of learning more about yourself. And I would encounter a lot of younger people who would say that I don't know what I want.
That's
But
right. That's me.
yeah,
Way back then.
right, still, like, I am not really sure of what I want. But the thing is, a practical advice maybe is, it's easier to know what you don't want. So it's a method of elimination. So as you go along the way, because personally that's what happened to me as well. And maybe it's something to think about that I jumped from one industry to another and, oh, I didn't like this, I didn't like that. And slowly I was able to build what I want in my head, what good looks like for me, what dream would change or what dream would, still be the same. So just keep learning, and it may be overwhelming a lot of times, but the world's your oyster.
That's really, really cool. So thank you so much, Danny, for being here with us today. I personally learned so much. I really learned a lot about customer personas, how to really tell your story, what really matters to a business, and so much, and so on and so forth. So thank you as well to the entire audience that's here today, to some members of my team, and of course to special shout out to a lot of the educators that we've really invited to be here personally. Virtually. And we thank you so much as well to just everyone for the time that you've shared with us. Very quickly, I'd like to share a feedback survey form, and I will be sharing my screen right now. So if you guys can maybe scan the QR code that's up on the screen right now, or log on to this little link down below. Feel free to share your feedback with us. How can we make our real world discovery sessions even better? And yeah, feel free to send us an email at any time, or log on to ownacademy.co in case you want to reach out to us, learn more about who we are and what we do, and really just get to know what our other offerings are. So once again, I thank you so much to everybody who is here today. Thank you for logging in. Drop your feedback in the link down there as attached on the screen. And thank you so much, Danielle Nakpil, for spending time with us. We really appreciate all of the knowledge that you've shared, and we appreciate everybody for their time. So have a great evening, everybody, and thank you so much. Bye.